Welcome to Bridging the Digital Divide, where we unravel the wonders of technology and its impact on our daily lives. This show is brought to you by wonderful sponsors, that is Blip School and RiseVest. Now, you can actually take a free computer appreciation program today by going to the website blip.school. That is blip.school. The program is absolutely free, so just do it right now on your phone. I am your host. My name is Afoma Chieboka. You can call me Oma the Storyteller. And I am here with Celestine Ezeokoye, who is the founder of Telich Concept. They are the owners of Blip School. Hi, Celestine.
Hi, Afoma. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So in today's episode, we are going down to the basics, right? We are going to be exploring what a computer is, what it's being used for. And I know that many of us already have computers, many of us have phones and all of that. But let's even understand how these things work, which ways that we can actually use them that we are not using them. Tell us, what is it like?
All right. So a computer is, in the simple term, is a device that takes inputs, does processing, and returns an output. Right? So it's basically a processing device that does the work that you tell it to do, saved process and gives you an output. Now, a lot of people are familiar with just the desktop computer because computers come in different forms. Mm-hmm. Right? A lot of people are familiar with the desktop computer, which has the screen, the monitor, the processor, the keyboard, and the mouse, and then the laptop, which just compresses all of that. Now, what a lot of people don't also know is that the mobile device is also a computer, right? Okay. It has everything you need a standard computer to have, right? It has a input, it has a processing, and it has an output. What even more people don't know is that most of the things they have around them have computers in them, right? Okay. Your fridge has a computer, AC has a computer, microwave has a computer, cars have a computer, right? Okay. So these things are things that you can tell, give an input, a program is already in it to process that input and give you an output, right? So generally, your computer ideally is separated into hardware and software, right? So the hardware is all those things that you can touch, right? That the screen, on the keypad, on your phone, the keys on your microwave, right?
Like CPUs on
exactly.
the
Now, the software is the instruction that is given to the computer to process. That is what makes the computer different from every other machine.
Okay, so software would be like apps and all that?
That's very correct.
Oh,
on the phones, yes. Those are software on the phone.
Okay, then on systems, like what would that be?
Like Microsoft Word, like browsers, Chrome.
Okay.
Right? Like Excel. Those are software. Or even the operating system that runs the computer.
Okay. So basically it's that we have the hardware, the things that we see and touch. And then whenever we send in a command, typing on the hardware or pressing something on the hardware, it then sends that command into the software and it gives us whatever it is that we are requesting.
That's correct.
Makes sense. So I'm sure that many of us usually think, even me, there was a time that I actually thought this, that, computers are just for like tech gurus and all of that. But in real life, we've already heard it here that computers are literally for everyone. There are different ways that we use computers every day. So let's even explore that, like the diverse uses of computer. I know that there are computers used in different industries, healthcare, education, communication, entertainment. So let's even delve into different stories different inspiring stories of how computer is used in these environments.
Amazing. All right. So let's even start from the general use of computer. Computers are in the most basic form, right? Computers are around us, like I mentioned before, right? One very simple basic thing is your alarm clock, right? When you go to bed at night, you set the time you want to wake up. That is the input, right? The computer takes the time and waits for when the time say 5:30 a.m., right? And then when it gets to that 5:30 a.m., and wakes you up, right? So that is the processing and that is the output. The sound is now the output. And then, I mean, that is the most basic form of computers that I can think of and just bring you up to speed about what computer is. Now, let's also move to communication. Okay. Right? And something as simple as WhatsApp. Of course, WhatsApp is not that simple, but I mean, it is simple.
The simpler
it's simple to use.
Yeah, the simpler it is to use, the more complex it is to build.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Now, let us break down the complexity of WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a communication tool, right? Okay. If you were not using WhatsApp, how would you communicate? Right? Let me break it down. Okay. Right? You would take a piece of paper, you would write your letter, you would stamp your letter, you would sign yours sincerely, you would take your postage stamp, put it on it, go to the post office, register it, and then send it over. And then you have to wait for sometimes weeks, right? To get to the point where, I mean, you know if it has been delivered. And then you get a response. Imagine all of this compressed into a few microseconds.
Like, this is bringing back memories.
Yes. Yes. So that is how computers make life simple.
That's actually really cool. I mean, I remember the days of, dear John, dear Jane. Yeah. You know, I'm sure that computers have saved many millennials and baby boomers.
Yes.
So we don't have to actually go through. There were times I used to even send letters to my parents then in secondary school. I don't have Gary. Excuse me. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a Gen Z. Okay. You are still listening to Bridging the Digital Divide, a program that exposes you to computers, its benefits, and the different ways that it makes our lives richer. Bridging the Digital Divide is brought to you by Blip School in partnership with RiseVest. Remember, you can take a computer appreciation program absolutely free today just by going to our website. That is blip.school. The beauty of letters and all that is that literally anybody could access papers and, you know, they would write letters and send it. But then now, for computers, you know, it's not as easy, right? And one of the major things that we're in a world where literally tech is making everything go like at the speed of light. So for those who are not able to access these things, and we believe, of course, everybody should be able to access it wherever they are. That's how necessary computers are. So how then how do computers give everybody access to the world? Yeah. And then how can people who don't already have access get access?
All right. So thank you very much for that question. Right. So let's take it bit by bit. It's important because the uneducated, simple girl on the street, let's call her Nkechi, has a problem with having access to a computer. How does she get this access?
Yes.
It's crazy because the government needs to come into this particular scenario. But let's assume two scenarios. Nkechi is not educated. She doesn't know anything about a computer. She doesn't even know that it exists, right? It seems like a far away object.
Concept, yes.
Right. Now, something we have to put at the back of our mind is that even when we see videos of kids in Asia who are using the computer to do magical things, they are not very different from people like Nkechi. Right. They just have proper access. They have proper structure that make this possible. Yeah. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about what we are trying to do at Blip School to make this happen.
Okay.
Right. So we started with a physical center at a community called Aguleze Chukwu in Agwata local government. And we are hoping that we can work with local governments to have these kinds of physical centers and they can take advantage of common people in the communities can take advantage of that to practice what they learn on our website. Now, having said that, if those physical centers are available, Nkechi can take advantage of it, right? And go on Blip School, right? Learn what she needs to learn. Another scenario is Nkechi has her mom who has an Android phone, right? For instance, and she can buy very cheap data, right? And open up the browser on the phone and take our free computer appreciation program. It gives her the basic understanding of everything she needs to know about computers, right? And then another scenario again, let's say there's Obinna who already has a couple of all these things, but doesn't know how to proceed, right? He has a computer. True. He has access to a computer, or there's a computer in his school, and he's just seeing it and walking past, and he doesn't know how to proceed, right? There are a lot of resources on the internet, right? We're going to get to the point where we talk about the internet, yes, but there are a lot of resources on the internet. YouTube gives you access to a whole world of this. But aside from that, we are bringing it down at Blip School to something that can that they can relate to, right? Beyond just also taking that very free course that gives you understanding, all the basic understanding of what you need, they can also take advance as they move forward, improve on their skills, get a little more professional, and all of that. So the first and foremost is important that they have the will, right? Nkechi, Obinna, you have to know what computer does, and then go for it, right? And that's where we and the government come in.
Yes, actually, that is so important, because if in the first place there's not, that hunger to rise above their circumstances, or just to, use whatever it is that is around them, they will not even see the opportunity that is there. So yes, it's really, really important that wherever it is that you are, as in, no matter whatever basic knowledge that you have, or even if you don't have any knowledge, if you have the hunger to rise above your circumstances, if you feel like you are better than where you are, already go out, find a solution. If your brother has a phone, if your friend has a phone, if somebody that you know in your church has a phone or this thing, take advantage of that opportunity. So it's really, really important that you mentioned that.
Yes.
So the Nkechi and Obinas of this world, they are taking their first step into this, digital world and all that. So one of the major things is it's really, really important that all of these things are dumbed down, just made as simple as possible so that they are able to understand it wherever they are. So first question I'm going to ask is, for Blip School's courses, are they simple enough for literally anybody to understand? And then the second question is, what practical tips can you give these people so that they can already start learning things now, even if they are not having to depend on the government?
All right. So first and foremost, we take our time to make sure that our programs that we provide are very, very simple, right? If you can read, you can understand what we have. Right, and we've taken our time to make sure of that, especially the introductory program, the beginner programs. Now, having said that, how do they proceed? Get a phone, open the browser, right? Open the browser, type blip.school, and then look for computer appreciation. It's right there. It's pinned. Right? Okay. Blip.school. Computer appreciation, and take it. It's a seven lessons program, right? Step by step. And then when you see that, you'll see that you totally understand what the computer is, what the history of the computer is, right? How it pertains and relates to your life, how it makes your life better, right? All of that detail is right there. It's very simple. Open your browser, blip.school, and then you're good to go.
Okay, so just to emphasize, that's blip.school, blip.school. So just type that into your browser and you would have access to free courses and other courses that also would help you to grow in the digital world. Okay, so thank you very much for coming on the show, Celestine. Once again, just to reintroduce you, Celestine is the founder of Tellage Concepts, which are the owners of Blip School. So thank you, Celestine.
Thank you, Afoma. Thanks a lot for having me.
Look forward to seeing you at the next episode, where we will be covering device security and how you can protect your digital world. We hope that you've learned something, valuable and new about computers and the incredible potential that they hold on today's episode on Bridging the Digital Divide. As usual, you already know that it was brought to you by Blip School in partnership with RiseVest. Until next time, I am Oma the storyteller, that is Afoma Chimuka. See you.